everybody. I'm Diana, and welcome to this week's episode of Sew in Common. This week's Sunday episode of Sew in Common. So happy that you all could join me today. And I think we have a pretty exciting topic today because we're going to journey into the world of edge-to-edge quilting. Now, some of you may already be doing some edge-to-edge quilting, and that's great. But I have a special product that we're going to talk about that comes from the originator of the whole idea of edge-to-edge quilting to talk with you about today. Now, if you like this video or any of our other videos, please click that subscribe button and click on the little bell to set your notifications. We've been adding new subscribers like crazy lately, and I'm so thankful, but I still know that there's a lot of viewers out there, according to, those statistics things that we get, that says there's a lot of viewers that haven't subscribed yet. So please go ahead and subscribe and click that notification button, because we would absolutely love having you as part of this community as we get it growing. And also you can check out my website, sewincommon.com, where my blog is located and my patterns. And I should also tell you, when you go to the website, if you subscribe, then you'll get the blog sent to you whenever I publish it and all. And you'll get updates when I've had all kinds of new products or new videos and stuff on the website as well. And by subscribing here to YouTube, then you also get notified when I have new content. And I can't say thank you enough to everyone who's been watching my shorts videos. Those are really fun to make. That's kind of new for me. And a lot of you seem to be enjoying them. So thank you so much. All right, so let's get into our topic for today, edge-to-edge quilting. Now, edge-to-edge quilting is a topic that kind of is like saying Kleenex now, or Jello. We kind of use it as an overall term for quilting with our embroidery machine. But that idea, that name, was really brought about by a lovely lady named Christine Conor. And if you don't recognize her name, I bet you'll recognize her company's name, Amelie Scott Designs. So I bet some of you know or have this book right here, Edge to Edge Quilting with Your Embroidery Machine by Christine Conor of Amelie Scott Designs. That's Christine right there. Well, Christine actually has a brand new book out called Edge to Edge Pro. And last week, we talked about using the Embroidery Tool Shed, that free editing software. Well, this book is made specifically to be used with the Embroidery Tool Shed. And so I'm going to walk you through the book and all the goodies that come with it. And then we're actually going to look at how you work with the designs in the Embroidery Tool Shed today. So why don't we go ahead and let me switch over and share my screen and go directly to my camera, because here is the Edge to Edge Pro book. Again, Christine right there. Now in this book, let's just open it up and go through it. This book can come by a printed book or by download. And I'm going to show you where you can find this on her website here in a little bit. Or you can also probably find it. I don't know if stores have them out now or not, but I know she has it available on her website. So of course your contents and all the information you need to know there, a bunch of general information and tips. Christine does one thing really well. She really makes these books very thorough. Under the general process instructions, she also talks about a little bit of quilt math. But if you don't know, Christine used to be a 5th grade teacher, and she actually has created worksheets for us for doing that quilt math that I'm going to show you that are super simple. And then she also talks to a little bit about using Embroidery Tool Shed from Dime with it, that free software. If you haven't gotten already, you can get that with this book. Again, it's a completely free little editing software, but she talks about that generally here, and we're going to go over that in much more detail. And then again, she talks about her designs. And then with this book, I think you get 3 or 4 table runner designs, like this beautiful magnolia one right here. Let's see. You get this beautiful scrappy maple leaf runner, so perfect for this time of year, right? And the nice thing is she gives you all the instructions. She shows you the different designs and all for the quilting. And then you get this great poinsettia one. You get the magnolia, and I think there might be one more. Yeah. Oh, wait. Yes, there is. Oh, actually, you get 3 of the table runners, and must be 3 or 4 of the quilts. So you get this lovely Busy Bee wall art quilt, and you get chips and queso. That's a cute one. That'd be a great table topper. And the one we're going to talk today is piecing hat and mittens, because it is, of course, getting into the holiday time. And I know that you might be finishing up some autumn quilting, but you're really into your Christmas quilting, I'm guessing, right now. So let's talk about this a little bit more detail. So in here, she gives you your shopping list, your cutting of the fabric, all that. She gives you your full instructions for the pattern to piece and make your quilt or your table runner. And then here she shows you all the little edge to edge designs that are built in for this pattern. So you have the full edge to edge. You have 2 square designs that are great for your corner squares, or if you want to put them in some of these larger center squares that you see here. And then she also has this great little snowflake as well. And so you get all of that information. And then at the end, she also gives you some quilting instructions for all the projects that are in the book. And at the very end, what I love about her books is she gives you a design overview of all the designs that come in this particular book. So you can see sizes and you can see what they are at a glance, which I love that. Now, when you purchase the book, when you purchase the physical book, on the back cover, there's going to be a little serial number there. That's what you will put into the computer when you go to download the actual patterns, because the patterns, the quilting patterns, are an actual download. Now, there's a download version of the entire book. Again, I'll show you that in a moment. So that is the book. Here we go. There are 4 patterns for the table runners. I just skipped this one. This one is a little bit of a scrappy table runner. I love that because you could do that in any colors that either match your home, or if you're like me, I change out my table linens quite frequently, not just for holidays, but I have a couple different sets I use in the summer, a couple in the winter, that kind of thing. So you could make these in different colorways and then switch them out throughout the year. And then these are your 3 quilts patterns that you're getting. So, and then she tells you about the embroidery tool shed and all. Now, I told you that she also took the instructions for doing her quilt math and put that into 2 worksheets. I'll show you how you can print these out. So she has one for border prep, and you can tell she was a grade school teacher, right? These are like worksheets that you would get in grade school, and I love her attention to detail. So if you're someone that has a little difficulty with quilt math, or you don't like to do it on your own, print yourself out a bunch of these. You could use these for quite a few things. So the border is just a 1-pager. And then there's also one for quilting prep for your overall quilting. And so this one is a very similar worksheet, but it's a 2-pager. And I just printed mine out on front and back. So that is the Edge to Edge Pro book. Let me show you there again. There's the cover. But now let's go into the embroidery tool shed. So I showed you this, I believe it was just in last week. It is a completely free download from Designs in Machine Embroidery. When we go back to our full screen, I'll give you that email or that website address. And in here, so it's right here, it's all lit up and checked so I know that it's active. And what Embroidery Toolshed is, again, is a basic editing program. It lets you edit your sizing, lets you play with your colors a little bit, that sort of thing. But there's something special about this Edge to Edge Pro book. The designs in it come only in one format. And you're like, oh no, but what if my machine format isn't the same as that machine? You don't have to worry. That's why it works with Edge to Edge. Let's go in here, and I've downloaded. So I've downloaded Edge to Edge Pro and the files right here into my tool shed. Now here where it says Edge to Edge paper templates, if you've used Christine's original book, you know that you need templates for lining up your quilting as you go. And so she has gone ahead and given you the paper templates that you can print out. I personally don't use those because I'm going to show you how I do it. I do it how I showed you how to do templates the last time we talked about that, because you can make your templates right here in the Embroidery Toolshed. But this very top one that says files, if I open it up, then we see all of our different little designs, bonus files. See what's in bonus. So these are the bonus files that you get. So not only do you get the files that match those beautiful projects that she's giving you, you also get these lovely stars, a spring flower one, again, some more leaves, some holly, gorgeous for the holidays, and these lovely daisies. So you get a lot in this particular book. Now, I'm going to go into Hat and Mitten. These are the designs that we just saw the picture of in the book, right? So let's go ahead and bring in one of the Edge to Edge designs. Now, remember, Christine Conor's Amelie Scott Edge to Edge Designs, she always gives you two, an A and a B. So you do one row with A, you flip and do the next row with B, C, A, B, as you go across your quilt. And so that's why there are two of them right here. But let's just bring in our A for the sake of this. Now, when this came in to my computer, into the Embroidery Toolshed, it came in as a C2S format. Well, nobody's embroidery machine has a C2S format because that is the Embroidery Toolshed's what we call a native format. That's what allows you to resize and play with these designs. And really the reason Christine did this book is because people have been begging her for years to be able to resize her designs. And so because they are in that native format of C2S with Embroidery Toolshed, you can now do that. And then you will, once you've created the design as you want it, you save it to your machine format. And we're going to walk through all of that. So here we have our, this is the A design for the mittens and snowflakes. And I'm just going to highlight the whole thing. And when I highlighted it, did you notice up here the transformation box opened up? And this is important. This is where you get to play a little bit. Here is your width and your height. And if you click on maintain aspect ratio, when you change the size, everything is going to maintain its aspect with one another. If you unclick that, then you can do a little different things. We'll talk about that. The one thing you always want to make sure that you have clicked when you're doing this is the regenerate stitches, because when you change the file size, then the software will automatically regenerate all of your stitches so that everything stitches out beautifully. It'll add stitches if it needs, it'll take away stitches if it doesn't need. The software does all of that for us. So now you can literally customize your edge-to-edge experience because you can change your sizes on her designs here in the Embroidery Toolshed. So here is the design size that it comes in with. This would basically be in a 6x10 hoop. So let's say you have a big 10.5 by 16 inch hoop that you want to use. So I want to make my width about 9.5, and it automatically changed my height, but that height is obviously going to be too big. So I want to make this 16.45. There we go. And click apply. Now it made it bigger. So let's go in here and make it fit to screen again so I can see the whole thing. There we go. Now this design has been recalculated and is now perfect for a 10.5 by 16-inch hoop. Perfect, right? So once I've done that, how do I get that file then? How do I get it to work in my embroidery machine? I just come over to File and Save As. I'm going to tell it here, where in my computer do I want to save this design? Or more likely, I'm going to save this to my USB stick. Then right here, you can leave the name as is. Or if you change it, make sure to put that A or B on the end so you'll always know that this is your A pattern versus your B pattern, that sort of thing. And then here, Inspiration Series C2S, that's the native format. That's how it stands now. But when I click this drop-down box, all of the popular embroidery machines file formats are here. I just have to find mine and then save it. That's how easy it is. So for my brother and my baby lock machines, I know that I can click in there and then save, and that pattern is saved to my machine format. Then I just take my USB stick and I'm off doing my edge-to-edge quilting with my embroidery machine. That fast and that easy. Let's take a look again. So if you have a Pfaff, they're here. If you have Elna, it's here. The Viking ones, the Bernina, the Janome, all of those different formats are there. So you will save that to your machine format. And truly, all I ever do is save these to my USB stick. And then I get rid of them at the end because I will always have that C2S format and I can bring it back into the software and recreate it if I need to. So I don't need to fill up tons of USB sticks with all these recalculated designs because I can just come back in here and play. And you saw how quick and easy that was. Now, let's say I want to make this more to fit more of a square hoop, like my 9.5 by 9.5 inch hoop. Well, again, I unclick my maintain aspect ratio so I have full control, and I'm going to come here and make that 9.5. Now, 9.5 by 9.5, that's your full hoop. You know that your stitching area is smaller. So let's say 9.25. Let's just take it down a little bit. Right there, click apply. And now it's again recalculated my stitches. And so let's take a look right here because I'm going to click backwards. See, at this bigger one, it's got over 2,100 stitches. But when I calculated it, or when I created it for the 9.5 inch hoop, it came down to 1,700. So it's recalculating all those stitches for you. And you can always see that right up there at the top of the screen. And now I can save this just like I saved the other one. And I can now have a square piece. So if I wanted to make something with a square in the center and I really like that design and I wanted that design to be in the center of my quilting, then I can create it just like that. Isn't that easy and fun? I love that Christine was finally able to create her design so that they can be changed in size. And let's go now to my file folders because I want to show you what comes with this. So here I've got my edge-to-edge profiles. This is in my actual C Windows drive on my computer, but I wanted to show you, you get a folder with all the embroidery files. Those are the ones we were just looking at over in Embroidery Toolshed. Then here are your paper templates, and I'll go ahead and show these to you because you might want to use them. So here is the Busy Bee A side. And she gives you a reference here so that when you print these out, you know that this measures exactly 1 inch by 1 inch. If it does, then you know this is the proper size. If it doesn't, you know that you need to work with your printer a little bit to make sure that that happens. So let's go back. Here we go. So those are your templates, and you get them for all the projects. And then here is the border worksheet. and the quilting worksheet. So let's click on that border worksheet. It brings it up right in my computer and I can print it out. Now, if I'm going to do these worksheets, I might suggest that once you fill it out, pop a photograph of it and save it into your files. That way, and write on the top of it, like up here somewhere, what quilt you did that for and what your sizing and all was. That way, if you ever redo that quilt or you do another quilt with those same measurements, you've got a worksheet already done. So I think that could save you a little time, right? So you get the one for the border and you get the one for the quilt, just the way I showed you the ones that I printed out under the camera just a moment ago. So now I want us to go back into Embroidery Tool Shed because she's giving you those quilting templates that you can print out on paper. Of course, you know that I'm going to tell you something else that I want you to print them out on, and that is the print and stick target paper by Dime, the sticky paper. It works so much better than doing printer paper or by stitching them out on stabilizer, because with those other options, you have to pin them on. And remember, we talked about last week how that can bubble. When that bubbles, you get your whole piece is off from where it needs to be. So let's go back. I'm just using the back and forth button right now, which is always right up here. It'll take you back or forward as many times as you need in this software. Here's that resized design for the 10.5 by 16 inch hoop. Now, if I want a template for this, I just come up to File, say Print Preview, and it brings it right up onto the screen. Now, if this didn't fit on one piece of paper, this software would actually tile it for you. It would give you multiple pieces with a line so that you can tile them together and create one template. But this one happens to fit okay on this paper because it's a regular, it brings it up for this in an 8.5 by 11 sheet. You can always change that page setup. If you use bigger or longer paper in your copier or printer, you can do that too. But the thing I love about this is, again, when you print these out from the software, you get this arrow, which always tells you where the top of your pattern is, and you get these great crosshairs. And I love using the crosshairs because I can, when I put this on my quilt, I can bring in and get my needle right there in the center, and then I can advance it to my first stitch to make sure I'm matched up. And even if you have a machine that has all those extra alignment tools, this can only help enhance that as well. So I love that. And then, you know, if I'm going to do these small ones, well, these are not listed in the package, right? This is something I created and resized completely on my own. But again, I can come up here and create a file with a template for that specifically. So you can do your templates really easy right from the software. Now let's go into my camera again. Here's the print and stick target paper. This is what I talked to you about last week. It is a paper like this. It's got a sticky back paper on it that you pull off once it's printed. It'll go through your LaserJet or your inkjet printer with no problem. This side is a little rough. That's the side you print on. In fact, I'll even show you one that I've got over here. This is an continuous embroidery piece that I showed you, I think, last week. So that's how it will print out. I just cut around it. There's my arrow, so I always know where the top of my design is. And so I just would then peel that off, sticky. And this paper is sticky enough, folks, that it will hold up pretty much for a whole quilt. So with edge to edge, you're going to have an A template and a B template. It's going to hold up really well. I rarely, if ever, have to reprint one of my template stickers. Now, if one of mine starts to get to the point where it's really not sticky, I spray the back of it with a little bit of 505 spray because we know that's okay for fabric and it will wash right off if anything were to be on the fabric. But really, I don't find that anything stays on the fabric. You won't get any sticky left on your fabric when you use this either. I know that could be a concern. So print and stick Target paper, you can get that at any local shop that sells dime products. You can also get it from www.dzgns.com. That's the dime website. And then now let's go to Christine Connor's website. I think we're here. Nope. Let's see. Right here. Let's go right here. There we go. So her website, and I'll put it up on the screen when we go back to the full screen. This is her website. And when you go into her products and you go into quilting on your embroidery machine, you see all of her books and things that are available, all of her expansion packs. And since I first got my Edge to Edge Pro book, she's come out with a new expansion pack too. Let's look at that. Does she show us these? Oh gosh, can I make these any bigger? It looks like, okay, this one looks like a sewing one. Yep, there we go. There we go. So there's a sewing one in the expansion pack. Some great feathers, which I absolutely love. Beautiful butterflies. What else is in here? Some more beautiful flowers. Again, that's your sewing. And some leaves. So there's an expansion pack there. If you get to love this and you want more designs, there you go. Now, I should tell you that her original book, those designs can't be reworked the way these are, according to Christine. So the ones that can be resized are the ones that come in the new Edge to Edge Pro and her Pro pack, expansion packs. But here's her book. And here's what I was telling you. It comes either as an ebook or as a printed book. So if you're someone that likes that physical book in your hands, and I have to admit, I do, my physical book, then get yourself the printed one. If you're someone who's, nope, don't want that, just need the designs and the stuff online, then get yourself the ebook. They're the same price, but you might like one over the other. And so now let's go back into our full screen. I'm going to remove that. There we go. And so I'm going to give you a couple of website addresses now. Here's Dimes. So if you're looking for your print and stick Target paper, now I know Dime would tell you the same thing I'm going to tell you. Check out your local shop. If they have these products, purchase them and support your local shops, right? But if you can't, I know you can get your print and stick Target paper from Dime. And here is the Amelie Scott Edge to Edge Pro. That's her website right there, www.ameliescott.com. So that's really, really easy. So I hope this was helpful for you folks. I'd love to hear from you in the comments what you think of this idea now of being able to resize and create your designs with Christine's new book. I'd also love to know if you'd like future videos on actually doing the edge-to-edge quilting where I can show you on my machine. If you'd like to see those kinds of videos regarding these products, I'd love to do those for you. So let me know in the comments. Again, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. We'd really love to have you. And until next time, I'll tell you what I always tell you. Go sew life beautiful and enjoy your edge-to-edge quilting. Bye for now, everybody.